Hello, 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 and welcome to the Herbal Moon Goddess podcast. I'm Kyra and I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking all about the moon. And I know I talk about the moon like on pretty much every episode of the Herbal Moon Goddess podcast. But today we're going to be talking about a little something called the void of course moon. So the void of course moon is something to actually really be aware of when it comes to manifesting with the moon and tuning into the lunar energy, because that void of course moon, that time when the moon is void of course, this time is actually pretty important, and it can make a huge difference to your life. So let's talk all about the void of course moon, how to know when the moon is void of course, what it actually means, and what to do and what not to do when the moon is void of course. So if you've ever, read my book, Moon Manifesting, or if you've done any of my maybe astrology or moonology courses in the Herbal Moon Goddess Academy, then you may have already heard me talk about the moon being void of course. And this is something that is actually really important to me in my own personal practice of working with the moon. And it's something that I kind of follow pretty religiously or strictly, because it's really made a huge difference to my life. So let's talk about, what exactly am I talking about when I'm talking about the moon being void of course? So what happens is, up there in astrology, like the planets are moving around, and as they're moving through the different zodiac signs, as they're moving through the sky, they're making different angles with each other. And it's these angles that are happening between the planets that kind of spark their energy. They're triggering the energy of those planets to be felt down here on Earth. So it happens with all the planets, including the moon. So with the moon, as the moon is moving through the zodiac, as it's moving through all of the zodiac signs, it's making angles with the other planets, which is triggering that lunar energy, which we're feeling down here on Earth. We feel the moon's energy, as part of our emotions and our feelings. The moon rules our emotions and our inner landscape. So what happens is, as the moon makes these angles, it's triggering off this energy so that we feel it here on Earth. Now, as the moon, progresses through a sign, depending on where the other planets are in the sky, the moon may not make any more angles with a planet until it moves into the next sign. So this time period from when the moon makes its last angle to a planet before it moves into that next sign, this is known as when the moon is void of course. So this void of course moon time happens roughly every 2 days, as the moon takes about 2.5 days to move into another sign. And the moon can be void of course for, anywhere up to a few minutes to quite a number of hours. There is even times when the moon can be void of course for over a day or even 2 days. So it's quite irregular. So one of the ways that you can find out exactly when the moon is void of course is by following the times that are listed in the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner. You can purchase the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner now. It is currently available for pre-order at herbalmoongoddess.com. You'll find the link in the show notes below. And I'm really excited about the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner because not only does it have like all the void of course moon times for the entire year, you'll also know like exactly what phase and sign the moon is in each day, as well as major astrological transits. Plus there's tarot spreads, new and full moon rituals, as well as monthly rituals and even a year ahead ritual. So it's so much fun because you get to plan out your entire year in alignment with the moon and stars. So the link for the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner is down there in the show notes. Check it out if you really want to brush up on the exact times of those void of course moon times. It's super important and you're about to find out why real soon. So, and of course, there's websites out there that tell you the exact times that the moon is void of course. If that's something that you'd like to look at too, you can just Google that, void of course moons. There's lots of free websites out there that do give you that information as well. So, we've talked about, what makes a moon being void of course, and how to find out when the moon is void of course, but I haven't told you why this really matters. Why is this so important? So, as I mentioned before, as the moon moves through the sky, it's making those angles, and those angles are super important. So when the moon is void of course, and it's not making those angles, it's like there's none of that energy being sparked. There's none of that energy being triggered. So generally any feelings or I guess ideas that we have during that time, generally they don't always go as we hope. Like they don't always go to plan because there's just none of that astrological energy to kind of kick it into gear. I guess it's a time where the energy can be quite stagnant. So generally, when the moon is void of course, avoid doing important things. Don't use this time to start new projects or to start moving forward on new ideas. Like do not take action on new ideas when the moon is void of course, because generally it just won't go to plan. So being really mindful of that can really help you avoid wasting time. When the moon is void of course, I really avoid scheduling any appointments during that time, whether it's appointments with my own clients or appointments where I'm showing up as the client, like going to the dentist or the accountant. I just avoid having important things done then, because I know from my perspective, when clients come to see me, if it's during a void of course moon time, then the reading may not just go as planned. I may not be giving the right answers to my clients. I might not have that clarity, or the client may not even show up. There might be a mix up with the time and date or place or something. So I've come to realize that it's just best to just schedule in clients for other times when the moon isn't void of course. So pretty much you want to avoid doing anything important or anything that involves new ideas or starting new things when the moon is void of course. So what do you do when the moon is void of course? During this time, it's perfect for maintenance sort of work. So when the moon is void, of course, my books are closed for bookings, and I try to take a step back from my work. I might do a bit of stuff on the back end, catching up on some of my bookkeeping or some other paperwork, admin stuff that needs to happen. But generally, I'll use this time to actually step away from my business because, I am a total workaholic. I love what I do. So I love working on my business all the time. But I know it's important to take a step back. So for me, when the moon is void, of course, that's to me saying, okay, the Herbal Moon Goddess is shut. I can just be a normal person. I can go about my normal life and not worry about business for a bit. So for me, I might spend time in the garden. I might take my kids out to the park, or I might clean the house. Cleaning works really, really well when the moon is void, of course. And yeah, it always gives me a good excuse to just do a quick clean up through the house, and then I really feel better about the house until the kids mess it up again. So maintenance work. That can also include spiritual maintenance. So making time for meditation and yoga when the moon is void, of course, is really, really awesome as well. Like it feels really good to do that because, yeah, we all need a bit more meditation and yoga in our lives. So I hope that gives you a bit more understanding of how to find out when the moon is void, of course, and how to use that time to your advantage. Generally, we're not as productive when the moon is void, of course. So just blocking off that time and just, going with the flow, doing whatever, cleaning your house, playing with the kids, whatever, meditating, it's perfect, You can be more productive when the moon is back on track. After that moon moves back into the next zodiac sign and starts making angles again, then you'll feel more productive, you'll feel more energized, and things will start flowing again. But when the moon's void, of course, just take a step back, do whatever, and see what happens. So if you'd like to, know more about working with the void, of course, moons, you really want to get into this and know the exact times that the moon is going to be void, of course, check out the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner, now open for pre-order. I'm really, really excited about the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner. This is actually my second edition. I did the 2021 Moon Planner last year, which was my first ever planner that I designed and brought into the world. And this second version is even better. It's packed with so many more features. After I've had a chance to actually use the 2021 Moon Planner and see how it works and stuff. So the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner is really exciting. So if you're interested in the 2022 Moon Manifesting Planner, you really are keen about aligning your life with the moon and stars to manifest your deepest goals, check it out. The link's in the show notes below. And of course, if you are really interested in knowing more about the moon, I have a free moon manifesting calendar for you to download as well, which you can use as the screensaver on your phone, the lock screen on your phone, or you can print it off or whatever. And you'll find that also in the show notes below. So I hope you learned a lot about the moon being void, of course, and what that means. Feel free to send me a message or comment on Instagram or Facebook. You'll find me at Herbal Moon Goddess on Instagram. That's herbal.moon.goddess. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and maybe write a review, write a comment. Let me know what you thought of this episode. I'd love to hear from you. All right, I'll talk to you in the next episode of the Herbal Moon Goddess podcast. Bye for now, guys.